Coarse Voices, the podcast brought to you by Chorus, a fresh approach to community service. Settle in, listen in, and enjoy the voices who bring you reflections, musings, and stories from our community.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Chorus Voices. I'm Lou Forster, Head of Brand and People here at Chorus.
Hi, I'm Judith Hatton. I am Marketing and Communications Coordinator at Chorus.
Welcome to the studio, Judith.
Thank you, Lou. Nice to be here.
Good. It's nice to have you in here, and it's nice to have you back in because you've been in a couple of episodes before, and it's also nice to be mixing up the hosting of Chorus Voices. So between Dan and I, we've managed a couple of different versions of that. So it's lovely to have a chat today, and we'll be talking about something quite special to Chorus today, and that's our Waterwise program and our Waterwise Gardening. Tell us a little bit about that, Judith.
So we do an amazing job here at Chorus with Waterwise Gardening. We've been doing it quite a few years now. It's all about making gardens waterwise, so customers can have a beautiful garden that's easy to maintain and doesn't use a lot of water. And I've been to these gardens, I've seen the before and after. I've seen a high maintenance, where it be a lawn or just a general kind of cottage garden, and it's been turned into a Waterwise garden. Just been beautiful, very easy to look after. The birds come in. It's just a fantastic outcome for everybody to have a Waterwise garden here.
Well, that's great. Let's hear from Rachel and learn a bit more about our Waterwise Gardening.
Waterwise Gardening is the future. It's a way to enjoy your garden, but with a reduced water usage in really harsh, arid climates like we have here in Perth.
If I want a Waterwise garden, how do I start?
To start a Waterwise garden, you need to look at plant choices, you need to look at the area you're living in, probably get some ideas, visit a local nursery or some of your local parks like Kings Park, look on the internet, the Water Corporation website, and you can come to us at Chorus, and all of the gardeners are accredited.
What are the key ingredients in a Waterwise garden?
Key ingredients in a Waterwise garden? Well, I think you have to start off by looking at the soil. As we know, the Perth soil here is essentially sand. It's very poor quality. So we look at improving that first of all, so that the plants have the best start to life. We add things like soil improver, bentonite, trace elements, different wetting agents. And then once the soil's improved, the next key ingredient would be the plant choices. You have to choose Waterwise plants, and there's plenty out there to choose from. And then finally, the mulching is an essential part of it as well, just to protect the garden and to add to all the soil. Hydrozoning is another area that you would look at as well in Waterwise gardening, just to make sure that plants are grouped together with regards to what water they need.
What are the benefits of having a Waterwise garden over something else?
I think especially here in Perth, over the next few months in the summer, everybody's going to feel it and see it for themselves. It's really difficult to garden in a climate like Perth's, so the benefits of having a Waterwise garden is suited to the environment. It's sustainable, your water bills will go down. Most household water usage is used in the garden. So, there's many benefits there, especially as well bringing the wildlife back in to a sort of, suburban setting, which is a beautiful thing for us.
What makes a Waterwise plant Waterwise?
Essentially, a Waterwise plant is one that will do well with just one watering a week during a harsh summer. And then really throughout the winters, minimal or no irrigation at all, just relies on rainfall.
Do you have any favourite Waterwise plants?
I have a few favourites, so mine personally would be some of the big showy grevillea flowers, the bigger trees, and also the beautiful flowers and shrubs like Irimophila. But there's such a diverse range out there now, you just have to visit your local nursery or ask us. We work with Caramar Nursery, and they provide an incredible diverse range of plants for us to use, so we can literally have natural looking gardens, cottage gardens, contemporary gardens. There's so much choice out there now.
As a Chorus gardener, how do you feel when you've turned a high water garden into a Waterwise garden?
we feel great. It's a great amount of satisfaction that comes from changing something like that. So not only are we reducing our customers' water bills, we're doing something good for the environment, and we're seeing the change enjoyed by the customer. So it's a great feeling all round. Yeah.
Oh, great. So what do your Chorus customers say when you've turned their garden into a Waterwise garden?
Our Chorus customers are always very thankful when we've reduced the maintenance in their garden and we've reduced their water bills essentially, but they've still got a vibrant, colourful garden to enjoy.
Yeah.
And probably engage with in a new way. And then always some of the first things that they comment on is the colour, what their family says, and how they're enjoying the garden now, and also bringing in the birds and the honey eaters.
Yeah, great.
And that side of the engagement as well.
So we went out with Rachel and looked at a garden that she'd been working on. Let's have a listen to that.
I'm here with Kathy, a Waterwise Gardening customer of Chorus's, and I'm also here with Rachel. How are you, Rachel?
Yep, very well, thanks. Very happy to be in Kathy's garden. It's looking beautiful, as ever.
So Kathy, could you tell me a little bit about your garden and what we're looking at?
We're looking at the Waterwise and the fact that it hasn't been watered for over 2 weeks and it still looks beautiful. And it brings the birds. The birds have a bath every time the water does come in. The birds come and bathe, and it's just a pleasure to be in and around. And it's just my life. I love it, and it seems to be the right density for them because they can just roll around in it and just get all the feathers, and it's beautiful. I love watching the birds, and of course, then every night they come for the kangaroo paws too. Tea time, 4 o'clock, they come and they have a feed. You can set your clock by them.
What do we have in the middle of the garden here? What sort of flowers?
It's a mixture. It's all water-wise. Nothing needs much water, but it's roses. That is a kangaroo paw again. Grevillea. They're all the majority of them. They're all native.
Yeah.
It's nice. I can hear all the birds chirping around.
Oh yeah, it's loads.
And there's so much colour as well in Kathy's garden, which is just lovely.
Yeah, beautiful purples and pinks.
And we've mulched it. You've asked us to come and mulch it, a couple of years running, haven't you? Added a few native plants.
It was mulched, and then it was a few years, and it got bare, so it needed to do it again, and it's good now. It's keeping the moisture in, obviously, because if you can go away for a couple of weeks and come back and everything's still like this, it's wonderful. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to. You just have to get out and deadhead everything every now and then.
Yeah, so low cost, low maintenance is.
Exactly.
It's the way to go for your garden.
Water bill stays down really low because I don't have to put a lot of water on it. To me, it's very pleasing to the eye. I love colour.
It was so nice to hear about the garden, Kathy's garden, and how much she enjoys, the flowers and the birds particularly. It just sounds amazing.
Yeah, you can almost see the kangaroo paws growing there. It just sounds beautiful, doesn't it?
I picked up on the when I went out with the TAFE students and we did the gardening there. Kerry, one of the TAFE students, has got a kangaroo paw garden that her and her son have planted, which just her telling me about it was so vivid. So it's so nice to hear about those native plants and that thrive in the Waterwise garden.
That's right. Very unique to WA. Those
definitely.
Well, they go other places, but they
do well here, don't they?
Well with WA. Yeah.
So on to another garden now, and this one's pretty special, isn't it, to Chorus? So Andy and Jackie are very close to the Chorus family. Tell us about Andy's journey, Judith.
So Andy's been a volunteer with us for some time. He came to us. He lives with early onset dementia and didn't like gardening. He's never liked gardening. When I spoke to him, he said, I said, "You're a gardener." He goes, "I don't really like gardening." But he decided to come and volunteer with us, and we took him out gardening, and it's changed his life, being out with the team gardening. He's become a lot more positive since gardening with us, and we have a really special relationship with him. Everybody loves Andy, and Our very last job for the year was to go to Andy's house and give our time back. We did it outside work hours as a volunteer job for our volunteer Andy to give him a Waterwise makeover. So we caught up with Andy, Alex and Janice from the gardening team in Andy's garden.
Crew and I from Coarse Gardening team from the Carlisle squad are here helping Andy and his wife. He's one of our volunteers and we've come to help them out in the garden. We've put some new plants through. We're mulching it at the moment, and as you can see, the boys are working hard spreading the mulch. And we're just all getting involved in helping someone that helps us.
And you work with Andy, do you?
I do work with Andy, yep, he's a vital part of our team. The volunteers, of course, are volunteers. He travels a long way to come to us in the Carlisle area. And when he's there, it certainly makes a difference.
That's great. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we're here with the Coarse Gardening crew on a Saturday morning doing some volunteer work for one of our volunteers, Andy. So Alex, why are we here?
We're just here helping Andy out, just doing a bit of mulching, a bit of Waterwise gardening, putting some natives in, just to make the front super low maintenance for Andy. And obviously we've got to do a bit of weeding, obviously the preparation beforehand, but going forward it'll make it super easy for him to maintain, low water requirements. And here your daughter's getting married here, Andy?
I don't know where it is, but maybe up there.
Oh, somewhere. Beautiful. Well, we'll make sure the garden's looking $1 million for that then. That's pretty a special moment.
And I hear you've got a special relationship with Andy.
Yeah, so when Andy's coming in volunteering, we try and set an environment for Andy which is the same each time he comes in. So normally I go out with him and another staff member just to keep it consistent, and the same volunteer as well with Di coming out with us, just so you know who you're coming out with each day. So the only thing that's varying is just the job, so you're super comfortable when we come out, so it makes the day as good as we can and enjoyable for you.
It is. It's better than sitting around.
Exactly right, mate. They're making a difference to people, so doing it well.
And you think they're doing a good job of your garden? Like you're a gardener, aren't you, Andy?
No, I'm not. I'm not a gardener. No, I tidy up.
Should be out there telling them what to do now.
Andy bossing them around, but it's.
I'm not a boss.
It's coming along well though. Seriously, it's looking good.
It looks fantastic.
You got enough mulch. It's going to be super thick. There's no chance any ways getting through there. So.
No,
it's good, mate. Cool.
Rod.
Yeah, you got Rod here.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
got him out of bed on a Saturday, so doing a few things right there. So. It's good.
And you got a very special bond with the Coarse Gardening team.
We have. Definitely. Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing
Rod. I just see him there.
Rod's fantastic.
When I started, he was the first one to be there, and
How long ago was that?
That's
years?
Long.
So you've been giving back to other people. For
no, I wouldn't say bringing it back.
No, you've been giving back.
It's good. It's good for me to do it.
You.
It's lovely to be out and
Good for you. Good for the community as well.
Yeah.
And also to see you with your condition too, going out and doing that. That's very inspirational for other people as well.
I wish I could have been there at Andy's garden on that day. I've spoken to Jackie about their daughter's wedding, and I'm just so pleased that the team could go out there and do that work. And the fact that the team chose to volunteer to do that just speaks absolute volumes, doesn't it, about the connection that we have with Andy.
Absolutely. It was a really special morning we had, and they put on an amazing spread for us too. We had this huge lunch together, and it was just a lovely, lovely morning. I was really glad to be there with them.
That's so nice. Hey, when we heard from Alex in the garden, it reminded me of probably one of those most memorable conversations I've had in a long time. It was probably earlier on in 2018, and I was just out the back of our Carlisle depot and just chatting to Alex about Andy Craden, and just, I think it was after the Perth Garden Festival, and I was just chatting about what it meant to him to work alongside Andy, and what Alex said just stuck with me so powerfully. He just basically said that it's changed his life. So earlier on, Judith, you said how gardening has changed Andy's life. But to hear from Alex, a young, one of our gardeners, big tall guy, say that his life has been changed by working alongside volunteer Andy and learning about early onset dementia and what it means to have a meaningful volunteer role and what it's meant to Andy. I was just blown away by the fact that you just can't ever underestimate the impact we will have on each other's lives.
Absolutely, and you think there are customers who would be living with dementia as well, and it's so inspiring for them to see someone coming out and doing those jobs. It's like educational in a way that you can go out and do gardening or anything you want to do.
And we've adapted, I think, as Andy's dementia has progressed. We've kind of helped him along the way with the task of the gardening and built really strong relationships. And when we had our Chorus Day celebration, actually I got in the photo booth with Alex and Jackie and Andy, and we had a great photograph. We might have to sneak it onto the podcast notes or something. But it's such a powerful story of community and people and relationships and all through the power of gardening.
Yeah, it's certainly a very special thing to be gardening. I know the years I worked volunteer task force in our chorus, we mostly did gardening, and it's changed me. I moved here from Melbourne and I discovered what it was like in Perth to have really bad soil and how things wouldn't grow. And I got inspired, and I would talk to the team and I'd get little tips for my garden about how to mulch it and types of plants. And I've learnt you can't get a Waterwise plant and just ignore it for the first 6 months. You've got to water it and then let it do its thing. And so it's really, I've loved it. It's been great turning my garden into more of a Waterwise garden than it was when I first came here.
That's fantastic, Judith. So for any of our listeners that would like some help with a Waterwise garden, let's hand over to our colleague Rachel and hear from her.
What are your top 3 tips for achieving a Waterwise garden?
So top 3 tips. Planning. That's a really important starting point. You need to talk to some experts. You need to look at what sort of soil type you have, what area you live in. You might be coastal or inland, so you might have different plants that can grow there. Sunny areas, shady areas. These are all really important things to look at, along again with the hydro zoning, depending on what plants you're growing. So once you've got through the planning stage, another top tip would be the soil preparation and just looking after the soil, again, because that's where your plants are growing. And then the mulching at the end. Again, using the chunky, coarse type of mulch, not the traditional black mulch, which some people prefer. This is the chunkier the better,
so
really.
what does the chunky mulch do? That
just allows the water to go down to the roots where it's needed, rather than soaking the water up.
Okay.
And it's also a really good protective layer from the harsh Aussie sun.
So if I'm shopping for a Waterwise garden, what do I need to buy?
Okay, well, really a Waterwise garden is hardy and heat tolerant and reduced maintenance garden, so it's doesn't need that much when you're out shopping. The idea is, it's just doing its thing. But especially when you're starting up, you're going to need to look at wetting agents and soil improver, maybe a little bit of native fertiliser, looking at types of plants, again, Waterwise plants, and picking this right type of mulch, again. So there's definitely products and things that you can look at out there.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially low maintenance, sustainable.
When should I be starting my Waterwise garden? What's the best time of year?
Now, I think any time, but now especially. It's summer, it's about to get really hot out there, and it's a struggle to keep any garden going through the Perth summer. So great time to start planning and looking what you can do, and then you put your garden in during the cooler months.
Okay.
And that's the way to get your Waterwise garden going.
How can Chorus help any listeners with the Waterwise garden?
Well, we're all Waterwise accredited here, but from the Water Corporation, and we're one of the first not-for-profit organisations to get accredited in both Waterwise garden design and Waterwise landscaping, and we've won a series of awards at the garden shows as well. So we're well equipped to come out and plan your garden, design your garden. We'll put the garden in, and then we can maintain it afterwards as well.
Oh, great. Well, thank you, Rachel. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So that's fantastic to hear from Rachel. Any listeners who are keen to find out more or have a chat with us, our Waterwise team, you can check us out, chorus.org.au, or give us a call on 1800 264 268. So I think that's us for today, Judith.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for this chat in the studio. It's been
my pleasure to talk about gardening.
Yes, you do enjoy. You've got quite green-fingered.
Well, yeah, sometimes.
I like looking at gardens. I'm not very good at creating them, but we're all got different strengths, haven't we? So that's okay.
Yeah, more of a hobby for me. But at Chorus, we do it really as a profession, and we do it really well. So give us a call if you want to find out more about how we can help you in your garden.
Fantastic. On that note, we'll say thank you. Thanks for joining me, Judith,
Thanks,
and we'll
Lou.
hear you all next time.
See you later.
Thanks for listening to Chorus Voices, the podcast brought to you by Chorus. If you like our show and wanted to know more, check out our website at chorus.org.au. And please leave a review. We'd love to hear your feedback, and it helps others find us and enjoy the podcast as well. Join us next time for more inspiring stories and news from our community. Chorus, a fresh approach to community service.